Hello, must do 006. We're for part 10 of I Want to Get Cultured 2. Last time we kicked off stage 4 and made some fantastic progress. Cleared 16 screens, actually cleared probably 17 if you include the secret one in Butterfly. Yeah, what the hell, let's include that one. 17 screens. I'm not going to include the little extra key screen in Nang, that one really doesn't count, but the Butterfly one does. 17 screens. Of stage 4 across 8 games, so yeah, we got the 2 secret keys, and other than the first screen of Blood Festival, it all went swimmingly. Yeah, can't really complain at all, other than that first bit of Blood Festival. But yay. Yeah, not much left in stage 4. As I said, we've got this screen, and I think the one after it's kind of long, so this could take a little while, and the boss of stage 4 is the right thing. But yay. Without any further ado, let's press on. I want to be the... What is it? 1 over Hibachi or 1 Hibachi or whatever anyway. But anyway, the thing at the bottom there says Hibachi, so I'm just going to take that as its name. And given my confusion or slight lack of knowledge on that, it should be fairly obvious that no, I've not played this one. That was awful. So yeah, basically the gimmick, or one of the things we've got in play here is screen wrap. So yeah, we need to carefully manage our jumps and maneuvers to get through the. To get through the screen from the top and the bottom. So yeah, pay attention to in particular how the top of the screen looks, because a lot of the time we're going to have to fall off the bottom of the screen and re-emerge at the top. So well, what can I say? Pay attention to the top of the screen and try and plan your movements accordingly. Of course, we do have some fairly. Of course, we've hit the gravity flipper, so now we've got to spend some time upside down, and of course, upside down manoeuvring always more difficult than just right side up. So yeah, that's the bit that's probably going to cause me the most. Well, I'd like to think probably going to cause me the most problems, but this drop gate jump always as well gives me a little bit of trouble. I never liked getting through gate jumps where you've got to dip and get through them. They always cause me problems. And yeah, I'm also having a problem, a massive problem, as you can see also with that first sticking out spike. When I've gone upside down, I keep ploughing into the one on the right hand wall there. Not good at all. You can single jump up there from the bottom of the bottom of the screen there up to that block there. So I like to do that. It just I don't like doing that though, but it tends to it seemingly eliminates any danger of accidentally double jump, which again I'm very, very liable to do when I'm upside down, eliminating any possibility of me double jumping, for example, that high and landing on the spikes. If I single jump this, it seems like I never actually get quite enough height to ever actually reach the spikes. So yeah, that's what I like to do there. Okay, got through that. Let's not mess up this final bit. So the last little bit of the screen, we've got these spikes that kind of alternate, between firing, and we just have to find the gaps when the spikes are not in our way. Basically, that was awful. First screens, both screens are really not so bad, but yeah, they do can take a little bit of time to get through, but yeah, they're not. For scrolling ones, they're not. They don't go on forever. They're not dreadful. That was though that attempt at trying to get over that, trying to get down that ledge, and that was also pretty dreadful. Just walking headlong into that blue spike. Fantastic, lovely. But yeah, we're gonna see the spikes that are the kind of alternate firing. Wow. Come back in the second screen, and they're going to be a lot more bothersome and in the way there. Believe me. This bottom bit is tends to always give me a bit of a problem. It doesn't feel like it should. I mean, frankly, the firing spikes aren't really the issue here at all. I'll mess up the timing every now and again just because. But honestly, just getting over that red spike and not landing on the blue spike, just always again I seem to have a bit of a problem with it. But anyway. First screen done, on to the second screen, and once again we've got screen wrap, and screen wrap, and I am going to need to save my double jump there because I'm going to need. So we've got to pull off a far jump there because I'm going to need my double jump to get through there, and then of course just be careful here with the gravity flipping. Take your time, use a double jump when you can to stabilise yourself and make sure you're not falling too fast. But be mindful again, obviously, be appreciative of the top and the bottom of the screen. Particularly the top, so you don't land on spikes. Or of course, when you're upside down, I guess the bottom of the screen because you'll fall off the top. So just pay attention to the top and bottom of the screens, and that bit is not too bad. You might notice the arrows on the floor there. As soon as we hit the downward arrows there, we're going to get on this set of blocks at the bottom, which are kind of act like a conveyor belt, which is obviously going to send us flying to the right-hand side. So just be mindful of that. And yeah, drop down there, and we're fine. Just leg it. The spikes won't ever catch up with you. Catch up to you. So yeah, provided you leg it, you'll be absolutely fine. It almost feels like a kind of an afterthought there. I mean, it's difficult to even get caught out initially, really. I mean, do hold left there to leg it, and that timing is absolutely awful. If you sort of, in fact, what happens if I just, in fact, even if I just literally, I have to fall off, as I'm not pressing any buttons here, so I have to press left here to actually touch the gravity flipper at the end there. Otherwise, I just unfortunately just fall off and land on the spikes. But yeah, that was awfully timed. But yeah, I don't even have to hold left here or do anything. The spikes will actually, unless you're going to hold the opposite direction button, like this. In fact, even then, really? I can moonwalk through that bit and the spikes won't even catch up to me. Okay, fantastic. Let's do that one more time. I won't do that anymore after this because it just takes quite a bit of time. Yeah, I'm messing up the bottom bit quite a lot. But yeah, okay, it seems to, in addition to all that, it seems to somehow track the speed of how you move through that area in terms of when the spikes actually follow you. So yeah, seems like it's impossible, or nigh on impossible to get hit by them. So yeah, don't worry about them. Good, finally pull that bit off. Anyway, we need to go all the way down here to hit that switch, because in the middle of the screen now that's taken away a spike barrier so that we can now actually get through. So yeah, we have to backtrack pretty much all the way, all the way back to the middle again. I'm not sure that's good enough. No, dang it. But actually, that's completely wrong. The spike there gets rid of a set of spikes in the middle, but over on the left-hand side of the screen. So my apologies, that was completely wrong there. We might get to the save, I guess, that you can see on the left-hand side. Yeah, that was previously blocked off by spikes. And yeah, now if we hit the switch on the bottom right, it's the path is open to us. This bit at the bottom again with the conveyor belts, because they can sort of propel you into the spikes quite quickly, and yeah, it can be a bit of a thing to get through here safely. It's not so bad though, so once you get a feel for it, hopefully it'll be all right. But yeah, you do get pulled quicker than you might expect. And unfortunately, this area here, with that one block on the floor safe that you can stand on, getting in between there and feeling like you want to just move off. I feel, yeah, at the moment I keep getting stung by the spike just after it because I'm trying to move off too quickly. But if I don't do that, then something like that happens where I fall on that spike there. So yeah, I at the moment can't find the happy balanced medium where I can get through this. I didn't hit the switch. Wow. Okay. Remember when you're doing this every single time, of course, to hit the bloody switch. Otherwise, when you get to the left-hand side, as I did there, you'll find that, yeah, the spikes have not gone away, and you won't be able to progress. So, yeah, important to hit the bleeding switch. Right. With that important message out of the way, time for the last little stretch of this screen. So we get these bounce pads that kind of, boing us all over the place. And yeah, it can be a bit of a thing here to get through this, so as I've just demonstrated. Although admittedly that was only first go, and yeah, getting the timing back, or getting the timing set for me as to how I want to do this might take a little bit of getting back used to. I still haven't got it. I feel like I'm doing that completely wrong, but yeah, what am I doing wrong there? So I just probably need to get through there a bit better. Like, no, because I haven't got the. I should have a double jump back though, shouldn't I? Getting flustered, confused. I should have a double jump back. Or maybe I can just reset myself here so it times a bit better. Like, something like that, but yeah, just that felt a little bit better, like I wouldn't have to be quite so cute with the timing a bit later on, but still wasn't that good. Yeah, my timing on that bit, unfortunately, is not good. I haven't got that sorted out at all yet. But again, with the bouncing here, it can be a little disorientating, so I'm stuck here because yeah, I need to. You've got unfortunately the blue spikes there and the red spikes firing right at the beginning, so yeah, you're pretty much going to need to move through almost immediately. So pay attention here, and we're good. Fine. That took a little bit longer than I would have hoped, but still wasn't that bad. I mean, we still haven't been going 10 minutes. Anyway, I think this is forehead, is it? Or forehead 2, sorry. So yeah, well, half right. No, I've not played this one, so yeah, not much else really to say on that. This one is another long. I think it is only the one screen actually, so we haven't got two here. And perhaps you've seen already the gimmick here. These are blocks which disappear when you step on them, so we have to be quite careful with our movements here. Make sure we hit that block before we touch the block that we can stand on. Otherwise, we'll have no way of getting up. And then we have these other blocks that we need to push into other blocks. So that block there that I pushed over there got rid of the spike here. There was no way around to get over to the left-hand side without doing that. So yeah, we also got push blocks that activate certain bits and pieces. And now we come to this little thing. So this thing depends on which kind of these beams or whatever lines you touch. They do different things. So you can see me moving very gingerly here after hitting that one. At this time I have got reverse controls, so once I hit this one I'm back to normal, thankfully. But yeah, reverse controls always make me incredibly nervous. So yeah, we've got what feels like a very similar gimmick where we had with some of the well, maybe not completely similar, but we have also got jump and double jump removers as well. So the bluey, pinky one, I have no idea what that colour that is, gave me a single jump. Obviously, again, this one here put me back to double jump, but yeah, I need to be careful with that. Basically, I need to push this block over to the left-hand side into that other block. There is a shortcut where I don't need to go all the way round here and actually reverse the gravity, which there isn't a save there, is there, that I've missed? Because that is a long save. Yeah, there is a shortcut where you can just double jump very quickly while upside down and shoot the block, but I think I gave that a few goes, probably on my second go through, and I just never liked that at all. Probably because it's upside down, and I feel like you've got to pull it off very quickly. That's terrible. And be very accurate with that, because you only really get one go at it. If you touch the block, by the way, that block, the push blocks, you actually die. So I don't feel like demonstrating that. So so obviously not these ones you can stand on, but the ones that you have to sort of push into other blocks to trigger something, yeah, you touch those, you actually die. So yeah, I can't actually touch that block that I would have to go and shoot. So yeah, you only really get one probably decent go at it, and it just feels incredibly tight. I think I'm liable to mess up more often than not. So going round, getting the gravity to reset myself back to right side up is not so much of a chore. That I still feel like that's probably my best option. So yeah, that is a long save though. I sort of yeah, having died, I was sort of extremely perturbed to see that I was back at the beginning, because yeah, I was sort of half expecting to have reached a checkpoint, but obviously it didn't happen. And there's proof that that block, as well as the block that I need to push into the save. Am I misremembering this? I've got to try this once now. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought that was death. But yeah, the block where you actually, yeah, that you push itself is death, and also the block that you push it into to get the trigger to work is also death. So yeah, be careful. I need to press left here to reset myself. Yes. Oh god, and be careful there once I've hit the reverse control back to normal, that I don't then create into the spike. That would be dreadful. But yeah, back to this bit. I just feel like, although it can be annoying, I feel like going over here, getting the gravity refresher, the flipper, so I'm right side up to do this bit, is better in the long run. I just prefer to do it rather than muck around trying to pull off something that definitely can be done, but it's kind of tricky. And yes, depending on any disasters, good, we've reached the save. Now this block we can't actually stand on, but we can just by actually touching the side of it, trigger it out. Of course we need to backtrack to the right hand side, because we've got no way of getting through there with a block in our way, with only one jump. Head up here, hit the beam that takes away our double jump, and gets stung by a trigger there, lovely. If there are lots of triggers here, I might not remember where they all are, so this unfortunately could be a bit of a mess around. Yep, there's another one there. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm good on some screens, fairly memorable ones. I can't say this one was perhaps especially memorable one, unfortunately, to the point where I can remember triggers and such like that. So yeah, there will be times where I can very well remember what triggers take place on the screen, and ones where I can't. So yeah, this is one where I can't. So yeah, I do know at least the path in which I need to take. So I need to go up here right side up in order to trigger out the spike initially. I now need to be upside down. I've only got a single jump, haven't I? But now I'm going to get a double jump. Yep, good. But if I hold left here, I'm fine anyway. Not fine if I land on that spike. Yeah, initially, let's redo it again now. So yeah, I need to be right side up here, I think. Do I need to be? Yes, because I can't be upside down. There's no way for me to be upside down and land safely, so yes. So yeah, once I'm through here, yes, you can see the spike that now went away, and that's of course where I need to land, where I'm now upside down. So yes, I did need to do that bit where I went the right side up initially. And again, one of those bloody jumps that I mentioned before that I sometimes have trouble with. Right side up, now we've got to do it upside down. Joy! It really shouldn't be so bad, but like I said, just always tends to be for some silly reason. And I'm very perturbed by this next bit that's going to come up. So yeah, we need to go around here, get right side up, so the gravity flipper will help with that. We've still got a double jump here, but yeah, unfortunately this one, when we touch the, I didn't quite touch the last one. If I'd done that first go, that would have been so good. It's one of those ones where you get the reverse controls flipped, or sorry, your controls reversed in quick succession. So you head off a little bit to the right hand side, and then your controls get reversed. And unfortunately, we've got a spike wall chasing us. So we need to do that bit quickly with the spike wall chasing us, and with continuous reverse controls, and that always trips me up. It feels fairly reasonably lenient with the time you've got with the spike wall chasing you. It doesn't feel like it's like, what am I doing? Like completely on your tail immediately, so you do get a little bit of leeway at the beginning, but continuously reversing controls like that always catches me off guard, and I don't like that bit at all. Oh, for goodness sake. It is, I think, the last thing before a save as well, so which is good in some ways and very annoying in others. Particularly, unfortunately, as well, since I can't seem to... I've only had one go at it as well, so it was a fairly good go as well, so I've got to... Yeah. Chances are, next time I get to it, I won't do anywhere near as good, and yeah, I'm also liable, because I haven't died on that bit yet either, I'm also liable to mess up getting to it, so yeah, again... I'm using the word always a lot during this stage, but yeah, one of those things where, again, I always, having got a really good sort of first go when I get to the end, I then seemingly have a nightmare on stupid things getting up to that point again. And wouldn't you know it, it's proving to be true once again. That last death there was absolutely just pathetic beyond belief. I don't know whether I just didn't reach the gravity flipper or something stupid, or why I wouldn't double jump to get it. I have no idea, but it was stupid beyond belief. I've no idea what I was doing. But this, yeah, that bit, I mean, that, yeah, it feels like taking your time there and just getting up to touch the next beam is a good idea, so you can kind of reset yourself to then move back and forth. Because trying to do that quickly and getting the hang of left and right while you're constantly reverse controls can be a hell of a thing. Do we actually save from a touch? I think we do, so I might just do that so I can just jump up there and be fine straight off the bat. Nice. Anyway, I think we're at the last save for this screen, although again this is very convoluted. So what we need to do initially is, this is correct, isn't it? Yeah, is go upside down. We now only have a single jump. I think I want to be right side up here. Yes, so I only had a single jump and reverse controls. So yay. Just yeah, getting my head round all that. So yeah, don't accidentally move in a different direction like I want to, so I hit a spike. Don't think I've got a double jump, so that I'll, do a small jump over. Am I still reverse controlled? No. Yes. But now I'll be, yeah. So I'm upside down, but I'm not reverse controlled, and I've got my double jump back now. Don't accidentally do something stupid where I'm like single jumping over a spike and expecting to get, a double jump, because that would be awful. Okay, so go around here upside down, hit that block into that switch, and pending disasters, we're done. Yay! I am going to clear this little screen. Wonderful, beat stage 4. Get to the treasure chest, get to the coin chest right before the boss. And then I'm going to cut the recording and have a drink, because my voice is dry as anything, and I feel like a coughing fit is about to come on. So yeah, I cleared that little extra screen there, which seems to me quite weird as sort of an introduction to a boss screen. Normally, the 3 previous stages, we've just gone straight to a boss once we've cleared the stage, but this time we had an additional screen to get through as well. But thankfully it didn't cause me any problems. But yeah, before we take on boss to stage 4, a quick pause while I have a drink or 2 or 3. Right, throat feeling better, hopefully. So, yes, let's kick off the stage 4 boss. And, well, I've been saying that I think this possibly could be either this one or the boss of stage 5 could be the most difficult. It tends to be this first phase that I generally find to be the most bloody annoying of the lot. I just generally find it incredibly difficult to predict a lot of the safe spots in all the moves. So, whoops, that was terrible. So anyway, this character, whoever the hell she is, she has a variety of moves. So she teleports around the screen. So she has this giant fireball which you can sort of lead. And you're probably going to need to in order to get it hopefully away from where you are. She shoots these green. Yeah, she also does that, which is incredibly very annoying. She shoots these. She continuously teleports around. She shoots out meteors, which split apart into like green cherries. Also ones that split apart into blue cherries. They hit the floor and then split apart, whereas the green ones. So this one, the blue, hit the floor and then split into blue cherries. Can I get under that? Nope. Yeah, she also has this one where lots of them come out and then green cherries fly out, or delicious fruit or whatever. She has a bloody annoying habit of doing that. She also does this spread shot attack with lots of particles that just fan out. They can be incredibly hard to avoid sometimes. And she also does an attack where she puts a blue kind of black orb on the screen. And you need to take that out pretty quickly, otherwise... Well, actually, you could leave it alone. Like this is the one. So I like to try and take it out and by damaging it to take it out quickly, because that way, every time you hit it, you send out some of the particles from the thing, and yeah, getting it down quickly means that you don't really have to dodge it in tandem with something else, because usually if you leave it on screen for too long, then some other attack will happen, and then you've got to sort of dodge 2 things, which is typically a lot trickier. So yeah, I like to, where possible, take it out as quick as possible, but easier said than done. Frankly, I always try and stay at the bottom of the screen for this first bit. I never try and actually bother trying to go up on the walls. It just seems to be far more trouble than it's worth. I feel like it's just much better to just stay on the floor, keep shooting away at her. Eventually, hopefully, I'll get some sort of not even a lucky run, but a semi-decent run, where the moves just don't end up, where I just end up getting screwed by various attack. This one feels like it can be the worst one at sometimes, honestly, this green cherry one. It just feels like they split apart in like sometimes the worst possible positions, where I feel like I've got basically zero chance of ever actually dodging it. But yeah, what can I say? I really do not like this first phase of the boss. This is probably, to be honest, feels like one of the most difficult ones of the lot. Anyway, once you're done, we have if the lag goes away, thank you. Yeah, we have Kirby here, kind of trying to swallow us up. We have this giant star, which is sending out these like vines. You want to shoot them to get rid of them, and then yeah, Kirby swallows us, and we go into phase 2, which I'm hoping I don't die on like immediately, because it would be good to at least get into it a little bit more. But no, we're going to screw up right away, right at the beginning, first attack, which is very reminiscent of Kill the Blue Mage. Finally, one where I could actually, down on the floor, where I could hit it quite nicely, rather than up top where it just took like miles out of sight. Yeah, there's a perfect example. Get rid of it early. I don't have to deal with, for example, if I tried to deal with those blue and black things coming out while I was dealing with the green cherries, which were on the ground and very close to me, then I'd have not really enjoyed myself. So yeah, try and get rid of, my advice, try and get rid of that as quick as possible. And yeah, keep just shooting away when you get the opportunities. At this point in time, I was going to kill her, and hopefully I can avoid that good. Although I'm a bit perturbed to see that another attack come through at the end there. Ugh. Anyway, that was again a fairly nice. Well, I say fairly nice, but yeah, it all worked out in the end. Set of moves there, and I'm pleased we got to this phase fairly quickly again. Now, yeah, as I said, this is very reminiscent of Kill the Blue Mage, so yeah, if I can get through this first bit this time, I think I have this time, good, we can get into the next bit. I kind of have, like, a strategy for this, and to be honest, I say I'm usually much better. I'm going to die here, probably. Oh no, I survived it. I'm probably going to die almost certainly on the first phase rather than the second and third bits. And I call this whole bit here with Blue Mage the second sort of phase. And third phase, we'll see it later, I dub it as the Shial phase, because we'll see the spider from the boss of stage 8 in Find My Destiny. Please stop with this. It's not even lag, it's like pausing the game at various points in time. Anyway, now we've got these mushrooms, which are very reminiscent to me of Kill the Camellia 3's first attack. And a whole bunch of other attacks that have gone by fairly quickly. And yeah, like I said, not too difficult, funnily enough. And here, as I said, we get into Shial, which is the boss of stage 8 of Find My Destiny. And yeah, I am fairly familiar with all of its attacks, because of the amount of time I ended up having to do Shial on Find My Destiny. So yeah, reasonably familiar with all the attacks. If anything, funnily enough, it's probably the attacks. That's not to say that I'm not going to mess up on it. It's not easy. It's not a gimme by any stretch of the imagination. But if we tally up the death count at the end, I absolutely guarantee you that yeah, it's going to be the first phase that causes the most deaths, which is difficult. You kind of expect it sometimes, and other times kind of not. If anything, you kind of feel like, you know, the attacks get all this, and phases would get harder, so you die more later. Admittedly, of course, it is the first one, so you're perhaps more liable to die immediately and not even get into the fight, which is probably what happens here. But it's just, it feels so frustrating in some ways to have just like feel like I'm making no progress fairly on, because I say I absolutely genuinely believe that the first phase, for me at least, not always, it will depend on the attacks, you know, what order they come in, sometimes the combination of moves as well, but I genuinely believe that yeah, the first phase is the most difficult for me. It's not to say the second and third are easy by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel more comfortable with them, other than perhaps this first bit here, which tends to give me problems. Again, lots. You know, feels like very much like an avoidance with stuff raining down from the sky, and they're not just straight either. They're arcing, or not. Well, not arcing, but they come sort of, you know, not just straight vertically down, but diagonally. And yeah, it can be a bit of a thing, but it's not too bad. Now, this one I find is generally okay if you're in toward the middle, but as I say, you could very well get screwed over with the patterns because they come out at you. They get spat out at you very quickly, and yeah, it can be a hell of a thing. This bit in itself is no problem. It's the next bit with the in conjunction with the mushrooms that causes the problem. So I want to be able to get away from the mushrooms when they kind of come in, because okay, you never quite know when they're going to jump and therefore attack you. So yeah, I've kind of got a decent pattern for that, and I've also got a fairly decent pattern, I think, for dodging these stars at the end, dodging the attack with the stars and the other projectiles. So yeah, oh god, I thought I went too early there. But if nothing else, I might be able to get a few extra hits in here. Oh god, I thought I missed the platform. Oh good grief, don't take liberties with that. Okay, so avoid the bees, and hopefully you won't get quite so screwed over with the pattern here. Yeah, if anything, funnily enough, it's the sort of the extra bits of this fight that aren't the same as what we get in Find My Destiny. So this one, for example, these projectiles from this star can split apart in really awkward patterns and be very hard to dodge. But yeah, everything else, like this attack, for example, and everything we're going to see from now on is very reminiscent, I say, of Find My Destiny. So yeah, it's the additional attacks that aren't in Find My Destiny that usually cause the problems. And thank you again for the lag. Please stop doing that. So this is the. Oh no! I missed the bottom of the wall. The health bar was down really low there. Nearly had him. I say I really don't find that the Shial to be too troublesome. The final bit is very nerve-wracking. You obviously have to keep, you know, wall jumping off of the left, or one of the walls. I suppose it's going to have to be the left one. Please go under me. Good. while dodging the... oh, I'm going to get stuffed here, aren't I? Got a bit of luck there while dodging the bees or the flies or whatever that come out from under the ground. The pattern is not so bad that it ever tends to be really obnoxious, but yeah, having the presence of mind to avoid the oh god, yeah, that was just horrible. Look at that pattern there. I mean, I frankly possibly could have gone to the rightmost wall there to dodge that, but yeah, those 3 vines or whatever the hell they were just came out at probably the worst possible positions I can think of, given where I was positioned on screen at the time. That was just absolutely awful. Anyway, yeah, sorry, back to Shial, that final phase. Yeah, it's a bit of a thing to keep track of the projectiles that she naturally spits out and the flies or the bees that come up from under the floor, but yeah, for whatever reason, it usually works out and not being so bad. So yeah. Here's hoping, provided I can still do fairly well. And I feel like I've got into a bit more rhythm now on the first phase. It's still gonna be the thing that trips me up the most. I have no doubt about that. But you know, again, having started off the fight before, you know, it was obviously a bit rusty going into it. But yeah, I feel like I've now got back into the groove. As I say, as I died to that attack, which was just absolutely almost unforgivable. Yeah, I've got again a feel for the most part. What's going on here? I say that's not to say that yeah, this yeah. I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but this phase of the fight genuinely is has always felt like the most difficult. It was the one that tripped me up the most when I first played this, when I obviously didn't have a clue what was coming up. Please don't be anywhere on the left-hand side. Get screwed over by you teleporting to an annoying position. And it absolutely felt like the most difficult thing when I played this through for a second time. So, yeah. Once I can generally get past, like I'd say, the first bit of the second phase. So again, this bit, I feel like I'm more in control of what's going on. I don't feel like I'm such at the mercy of like RNG. Again, this one feels like RNG from where they come from. And I say the first phase feels very much like RNG, just based on lovely. Just walk right into that, fantastic. Just based on the moves that she does and where she teleports at the time. It feels like a lot of the time I get screwed over just because I get a set of moves that just don't work out very nicely. And this isn't really one either that's worked out very nicely at all. I probably should have gone back down to the ground there, having gone up to the top left-hand side there, but in the heat of the moment, I thought that I'd hung around enough at the bottom of the screen that wouldn't go that high. I thought I'd just be able to jump over it and it wouldn't reach me, but oh well, clearly mistaken. I hate it when those blue things, or blue-black orb things, are at the top, where they are not unhittable from the floor. Clearly, I'll try and do some damage to it, but yeah, they're obviously much more within range at the bottom of the screen, where I can hit them nicely. And by the way, you will die. Wonderful! Thought I could get past that. I should have backtracked to the right-hand side, and yeah, that was just appalling. I should have backtracked to the right-hand side out of the way, but I thought I could sneak past that on the left-hand side, but no, apparently not. Kirby does obviously suck you in, so yeah, there's sort of like a mini wind effect, for want of a better phrase, where you're getting pulled to the right-hand side. So yeah, couldn't sneak past. This is dreadful. Yeah, I should have gone to the left-hand side there to get away from all those orbs, but again, they just they felt like a lot of them were going to fall at the bottom of the screen, and just and yeah, if they don't split apart in a nice pattern, the green ones in particular, the green cherries in particular, can just be horrific to dodge. I mean, something like that, for example, was very nice. There were a few at the bottom, but they seemed to all split apart, upwards. That was absolutely awful, and I should have still survived that, but I was dealing with the blue-black thing on the bottom left-hand side, getting rid of all its attack shots that were coming up, and you fired, yeah, this attack, the quick range firing one. If anything, I would have preferred the cherries, because it would have been a bit slower to actually spawn in. I would have been able to, react a bit more. But no, we had the attack that comes really quickly and right in my face. Delightful. Okay, that's fine. We should be able to finish you off now. I'll probably get one more move in, unfortunately, so I'll have to avoid this. But you split it apart very nicely, so cool. Yeah, I guess you probably just want to hang to the right-hand side of the screen on that, but honestly, you can probably pick any spot. I tend to like to be on the right-hand side, but that looks okay. Good. Right, can we not mess this up, please? I feel like this is fairly predetermined, and I should not be dying to this after a certain point in time. I don't like the fact that you can die after the screen goes white with those things. You have to sort of do pay attention to where they're going to be on screen even though the screen has gone white, because you can still get screwed over by those, which I find quite maybe quite is probably a bit of an understatement. Very unfair. Anyway, I did not like the pattern for those mushrooms. The tail being the exclamation mark over their heads, that indicates when they were going to jump. But yeah, that's as far as I can tell, completely random. And yeah, although there is a bit of RNG on that, and I'll get screwed over every once in a while, there aren't many mushrooms, and I don't find it sort of like it's ever really too bad. Believe me, they're about 10,000 times worse on Camellia 3's first boss. Or at least for me, anyway. Right, back to this. So we've got through the first bit, and then yeah, this honestly feels like much like a toss-up between not doing stupid things like that. I should have tried to jump over that from the left-hand side, or not tried to be so cute and jump in between the two of them. That was so stupid. That attack does just genuinely feel like it has the capability to screw me over quite a bit. That's terrible. To be honest, I was focusing on the blue-black thing there, and not even paying attention to what move she was doing. So yeah, that was just horrible all round. That is absolutely awful. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, the attack I died on the Shial phase. I feel like it's a toss-up between wanting to play safe, but also wanting to get it done as quick as possible to avoid that attack lingering on screen, because I do find it probably one of the most tricky ones to avoid, and all things equal, I just want to get rid of it as soon as. Right, back to this. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing better now anyway. I feel like I'm doing much better at the first phase. That's making me happy. It's not to say that I'm not going to die on it. I'm not going to die still, obviously, on the second phase, kill the blue mage, or Shial, because yes, I absolutely am going to. But if I can feel more comfortable and just all round generally happier with the first phase, then I tend to feel better. That is not to say, though, this could still not take ages. I genuinely feel like this first phase has sufficiently enough RNG for it just to be awful, genuinely awful, and probably one of the reasons why, personally for me, I find I would flip-flop between whether or not I feel like this is the hardest boss of the regular stages, we'll leave aside the final boss, yeah, this one, stage 4 or stage 5. It's not to say that there's no RNG in the boss of stage 5, and also has another potential annoyance for me, namely bouncing and arcing projectiles, but honestly, probably give me bouncing and arcing projectiles, provided it's not to a ridiculous extent, over RNG. That phase seemed to go by incredibly quickly. I don't know if there's some predetermined length of time there that Kirby is trying to suck us in before that phase ends, but that felt like it ended very quickly. Well, quicker than it had done the previous time I got to that part. Oh, that's horrible. That was probably not that horrible, actually, but just completely misaligned myself with the gaps there. Fantastic. And even though that is RNG to a degree, I don't feel like that's terrible. And for the most part, the projectiles there are... This is going to go absolutely horribly. Wow! And that's a perfect illustration there of why I just don't like going anywhere near the wall jumps on this phase. I mean, that's not to say that I feel like I got screwed over there with the worst possible move you could have done at that point in time, but yeah, just I think a perfect illustration of why I think mucking around trying to get mucking around on the walls there is just not a good idea at all. That was awful. I feel like I was in mid-air when this attack spawned in, and there was just no safe spot. It was covering bits on the ground, it was covering the bits where I was trying to jump up in the air. Yeah, just, again, a horrible attack, unfortunately, at the worst possible time, where I just felt like there was nowhere I could have gone there to avoid that. I am conscious of the time, thinking that, it took about 20 minutes, I think, just to get through the last of the bits of the stage the non-boss parts of stage 4, the last 2 screens, whatnot. So, and I'm constantly going here for 20 minutes or so we're at 40 minutes or whatever. But, yeah, got to say I'd really like to have to not cut this, and stage 4 had been going really well, other than that Blood Festival stage, but, yeah, I always knew that Boss 4 was likely to be something that has the capability to massively trip me up, and yeah, it looks like it's proving that is the case. Oh, good grief. I'll probably end up going to maybe 50 minutes or so, and then if I haven't done it by then, I probably will just cut it, because I've sort of run out of things to say. Don't you dare jump now, thank you. And I think we've seen pretty much all of the boss. Well, yeah, we have seen all the boss. Got to the final attack. I've talked about pretty much, I think, a dodging strategy that I've got for pretty much everything, or at least I've shown off much of what I'm doing here. So after this attack, I guess I'm moving over here to get out of the way of this platform, because the spider's going to come down the left-hand side, move over to the right-hand side, and then switch obviously sides, pummel away whenever you get the opportunity. This attack's more is obviously just find the gaps in the flies. This one is obviously just find the gaps in the projectiles that come up from the floor and from the ceiling, which isn't too bad. It's this one. It's sometimes the directions and the speed at which these projectiles come out from the star can be incredibly difficult to gauge. Yeah, I don't think that's too bad. This is fairly straightforward. Don't get ahead of myself this time. This attack is a lot easier than I think it was in the original Find My Destiny. The gaps seemed in the goo there seem to be much easier to find. I'm not going to die here. I thought I was going to die there. Is that enough? No, one more hit. Got it. Good. And we can land on this platform. All the goo that splits out is harmless, and we're done. Yay! Not going to have to cut it. Okay. To be honest, that went pretty well. Forehead beat the 4th boss. I'm pretty happy with that. That was just over 20 minutes or so. But as I've been repeatedly saying, Boss 4, the boss of Stage 4, has the potential to be very irritating. One of the most difficult ones in the game, excluding, say, the final boss and possibly the boss rush. But if we're just talking about the bosses of the main 5 stages, yeah, I think it can be a bit of a toss-up between that one and the boss of Stage 5 being the most difficult. And to have that done in just over 20 minutes or so, I will gladly take that any day of the week. Yay! Stage 4 complete. Of course, we got an extra key, the 3rd one, for completing the stage, and a whole bunch of coins. So yay! We're done with Stage 4 in 2 videos. Fantastic. And of course, with the culmination of Stage 4, like I've been saying previously, we're going to be mixing things up. So yeah, we won't be going to Stage 5 or anything else in the main game. I guess in the main game. I keep calling it the main game and then sort of set aside from the challenges. But yeah, I can save over there. Let's do that. Yeah, we're going to be having done Stage 4. We're going to be taking on 3 more challenges with the 3 keys that we got in Stage 4. So yeah, we've got 6 left. 3 to do next time, and 3 from getting the keys in Stage 5. But yeah. Feeling good. Stage 4 out of the way, and we've got 3 new challenges left. I'll talk more about obviously the challenges next time, but I'm feeling pretty happy with the ones left. There's one avoidance one that could be a bit grindy. Hoping it goes as well as Tear It. That would be fantastic if it goes as well as that. I've got a funny feeling Tear It now is probably going to be the avoidance that goes quickest. I think I looked up the Wave one. And I think I spent longer on Wave than I did on Terrier. That's just absolutely incredible. I've got a funny feeling the next Avoidance one will probably take longer than Terrier as well. Who knows if it's going to be next time? It could be in X videos time. It could be the ones on. It could be one of the last three. But if it's one of the next three, working from left to right, we'll have it next time. But yeah, I guess looking forward to seeing what we've got in the challenges. And yeah, I'll leave it there with three more challenges to come next time. Hope you join me for those. But until then, cheerio.